Hey, back in the late 80s, I played football for Shattered State College. We were NAIA school. But in my freshman year, we were young, we were hungry and rebuilding. Most of us started that year. And that year we went 1-8. Yes, 1 win, 8 losses. It was painful, terribly painful. You know, one of those character building years? Well, I was ready to transfer myself, but something inside me said, you don't abandon what you're building. Don't abandon the team. You finish the damn thing. So I stayed. Sophomore year, we got a new defensive coordinator, Coach Noble. This man didn't just teach defense. He taught standards. He taught mindset. Every week we get our playbook, the playbook for what we're going to do this weekend. But in his playbooks, they came with quotes, with principles, with identity work. He was the first guy who ever told me about the two wolves. He told us about this Cherokee story. A grandfather is teaching his grandson about life. The grandfather says to his grandson, inside every person there are two wolves. One is anger, fear, laziness, and doubt. And the other is discipline, grit, truth, and belief. And the boy asks, which one wins? And the grandfather answers, the one you feed. Listen, I bet you've heard that before. That story has stuck with me. Every quote Coach Noble gave us, every practice, every film session was feeding the right wolf. Not just playbooks, but mindset, identity, and pursuit. Because if you feed weakness, you play weak. If you feed toughness, well, you finish strong. And then Coach Nobes had this thing, and then there was this square of excellence. Coach, he called it square of excellence. Coach would wheel in a massive tube TV, the kind that weighed like a Buick, massive ones, and he had a square tape stuck to the screen. And that taped square represented a 6-yard box on the field, just about. And Coach said, by the end of every play, I want to see every one of you in that square. Didn't matter where the ball went. Didn't matter if you got knocked down. Didn't matter if you were 40 yards away. You're a DB down the field. Your job was to finish the play and show up in that square. And that square is where the ball was at. We were trying to stop that. Because Sunday at Films, we watched film. And film don't lie. If your jersey wasn't inside that square, you got called out. You ran extra. You owned it. But it wasn't about punishment. It was about pursuit. It was about ownership. It was about showing up when it counted. That square of excellence, I still live by it. I use it in my business. I use it when I'm coaching other people, coaching agents. I use it in building my teams because here's what I know. Just think about it in calling customers and leads. Most agents make the first call, maybe the second, but 83% of the deals, they close on calls 6 through 12. If you stop after 3 follow-ups, great, you did better than most people, but you're leaving 83% of the income behind. That's the square of excellence, and that for me today. So, are you finishing the play? Are you showing up when it counts? Are you putting yourself in a position to win? Because Coach Nobes didn't care if you got pancaked by a lineman, didn't care if you were winded or blocked or 20 yards off the ball. You still had to get into that frame. Why? Because we all knew. We knew it. Film doesn't lie. Same thing today. You're not just competing with the agency down the street anymore. You're competing with AI. You're competing with corporations with unlimited budgets, with call centers across the globe, with tech that never sleeps. So let me ask you again, in your agency, in your habits, in your follow-up, are you in the square of excellence? Are you finishing what you started? Because the best don't just chase the ball, they show up to where the play ends. That team at Shadron, love this. We went from 1-8 that first year to 5-5 as sophomores, and on my junior and senior years, we ended up 8-1 and 9-1. Both those years we made it to the national championships. We didn't win. We didn't only get faster, we didn't only get stronger. We got committed. We got relentless. We fed the right wolf and we finished the damn play. Both those teams were inducted into the Hall of Fame. I'm proud of that. Don't quit. Do the work. Hashtag DTFW, do the work. There's no pause in expansion. I'm Tim Lecher. Let's go. And remember, you got this.